Operation Overdrive is my favorite season.
Camera's working correctly. Great. I am Gazbot. This is Action Activate, and with me, as always,
Big Dawg Defender, ready to ramble per usual.
Yes, per usual, but specifically this episode, we have no episode to review. We have no topic we've discussed beforehand. We have no theme. We have no nothing. We're just like, let's do an episode while we chat. Let's chat and record it.
We'll do it live.
But it's pre-recorded. But
we'll
for our
do it
purposes,
live, pre-recorded.
So, yeah. So I got nothing. How about you?
I always have some stuff.
I feel like you got
something
something
I want
to
to say.
Yeah.
Oh, I always have stuff in the power chamber. So I like that we unintentionally coordinated where I feel incredibly disheveled. And before we started, you're like, oh, yeah, I meant to clean up a little bit. I'm disheveled, too. Because, like, I realized when we sat down, I'm like, oh, my hair is kind of at that weird length where I should normally get it cut. I don't have a hat. My beard makes me look like a crazy person even more than normal. So this is the perfect wardrobe for this episode.
Well, I guess I should have maintained a hat because I looked like a homeless person. I hadn't shaved in like a week, and my hair was like flat, and I was dirty, and I hadn't showered in 2 days, and I had like dirt all over me from bringing stuff in from outside. So I was like, I looked so bad. I'm like, I can't go on camera like this. Like I often go on without shaving or something, but it was bad. But
yeah,
in retrospect, maybe I should have because I looked worse than you do. You know what I mean?
Wow, thanks. That was Gazbot. I cleaned up. What's your excuse? No, today for work, this is the second time it's happened since I've been working from home. My computer had a Windows update where it won't let me connect to Wi-Fi. So I have to go to my office and somebody has to meet me there, let me in because my key card doesn't work, and then I have to wait for them to troubleshoot and get my computer to work so I can work.
Do you
wait
in the office or?
Oh, yeah, I'm at the IT desk, and it's me and one other person, and that's it.
Okay.
Just because, like, the only way they can make my computer functional is in person.
Okay. That seems overly complicated, but sure.
Yeah. So I had a split when I told people today, like, both internally and externally, like, oh, yeah, my computer doesn't work. And some people are like, oh, that sucks. Like, you can't do stuff. And other people are like, why does this only happen to you and not me? Like, I don't understand. And I'm like, well, they're like, how do you get so lucky where this happened twice?
You should tell them, well, because we're always reporting on Power Rangers news, Evox is constantly launching cyber attacks on you. And sometimes, he doesn't care if we're doing a show or you're trying to do work. It's all fair game.
Exactly. But with the Evox thing, you actually brought up something. You posted a video sometime in the last few days saying, hey guys, we're going to have a rambly episode of Action Activate.
Yes.
And out of that, we had a few questions, but one in particular that I wanted to kind of start us off, which would take us down a rabbit hole. This is actually one, I believe it was from Serum Porter. Shout out to them. And this is a question you and I think would bring up on a road trip if we were just thinking of things to talk about.
Okay.
So we have a new season coming up. Any season, but in particular for us, we're going to have the Dino Nights, as the fans are calling it now, but we don't know. For that season, would you rather have a American-specific mode like we've gotten with many seasons in the past, whether it be in this one, I think Fury mode was American only, or in Dino Charge, it was their in Megazord modes, or would you rather have an American-only Ranger a la Titanium in Lightspeed?
I feel like it's a simple answer, but I'm going to look something up real quick because I forget how many Rangers we start with in Ryu Soldier.
5.
Okay, and then we get 1 6 Ranger and that's it?
I believe so.
Okay, assuming that's true. Actually, wait, there's a picture right here that shows the team. 1, 2. Oh, it
I'm
looks like.
surprised you're looking up potential spoilers. This is
Well,
not
no,
like you.
I'm looking up images only, and I've seen shots of the team, so I know what they look like. But
Okay.
but actually, yeah, okay, I'm gonna stop looking because you're right. I might accidentally see something I don't want to see.
I'm like, of all things for
Yeah,
you to
yeah,
do,
I know.
this seems
Okay.
like the
Well, here's why.
dumbest thing.
Here's why. Because the question to me, the answer is an American only new Ranger. That's like the obvious. Absolutely go with that. But the reason I paused because I was thinking of a show like Dino Charge that has how many Rangers? They have 9. We don't
I
need
think they
another
had
one.
10.
Okay, we don't need another one on Dino Charge. A lot of the Rangers that they had barely got any screen time. So if U Soldier
Fair.
was like that, where we're gonna have like 9, 10. If it was like a Q Ranger, Q Ranger, yeah, Q Ranger, we're gonna have 9
Q
whatever.
Ranger.
We don't need an extra. But if it's a standard season that would have 5 or 6 Rangers, and the option is that we get a new American only Ranger or a Battlizer or a cockpit mode or something like that, 100% I wanted a new Ranger.
I thought about this really hard the last couple of days,
Mm-hmm.
and I was thinking more like there's arguments to be made for both, obviously, but I brought it back to the most selfish version of what would the toys look like.
Right.
So if we're thinking just what we have in the past, it was a huge pain in the butt to get multiple versions of Dino Charge. I did it.
Mm-hmm.
It was a huge pain in the butt because we had
they like
3
tripled
different modes.
it. Like they didn't just
Yeah,
have
it
a
was
super mode. They had the
awful.
ultra super. Yeah, that was not cool. That was not cool.
Yeah, so even if it like the ultra super mega whatever, if we only had one different version, still a pain.
Yeah.
But we did it.
Also,
but then I'm looking at
I don't
go for
love
it.
if we were gonna get another mode. I don't love the cockpit only mode. As much as I like Samurai Gold and like those costumes, they often look cool. And I think the Dino Chargers, they look cool. And it's cool to get a figure of it, but I hate that they're only ever in the cockpit. And I understand it's American footage, but you couldn't have like a couple scenes where it just never makes sense. It's like this seems like a super powered mode. Use it, you know? Like so I kind of not in terms of designs, because the designs I often like, but in terms of usability, I never like the
execution.
Only. Yeah, I don't want it to be a cockpit only mode ever if I had my choice.
So would you prefer like a full-on, well, obviously you would prefer a full-on Battlizer, but would you prefer a full-on Battlizer for one person, or would you prefer all of the team get a souped-up mode?
I will answer that after you finish what you were saying, because I kind of interrupted and you never got to your point.
That's fine. So I was thinking about it. I obviously like those modes. They look cool toy-wise and stuff. And then it was the catch-22 of like, I think of Titanium Ranger. I think of Phantom Ranger.
Mm-hmm.
I think of
even the Spirit Rangers from Jungle. No, Spirit Rangers from Jungle Fury.
Ooh, Spirit Rangers is actually a great one.
Yeah.
I don't have the Spirit Rangers, and I need them for my set.
I don't.
So
either.
It's one where for new stuff, if we get it right away, we should be fine. But if it's one that you go back a couple years, like even Dino Charge that we keep going back to, a bunch of those are not easy to get. Like I know you and I were talking about the super mega crazy silver. Like any version of silver is not cheap.
Right, yeah. Which is weird because he was barely in the show too, but I guess
I know.
Yeah. And then Pusandra, who isn't even one of those super mega modes, you had to get her in a 2-pack. Yeah. Toys are going to be toys, and they're going to make it so that if you're a completionist, they're going to get you. So that aside, so where did you land though? You still haven't said where you like your
original Ranger.
Okay, but you just took longer to get there than I did.
Yep, exactly.
But like I said, the caveat being, if it's a season that has 7+ Rangers, I don't know that I want an original Ranger, unless. Okay, I'll even go back a little bit on that. If it's a season that has a lot of Rangers, and they create an original Ranger, but it's either an evil Ranger or a rogue Ranger, I can get behind that. Because they're not another one on the team, but they show up and attack, and they're working for the bad guys, or they're not good or bad. They're just like, I have my own agenda. Kind of like how Magna Defender was, but they never actually joined the team. Yeah. I would go for that if it was a bigger team, because then they'd still be able to stand out.
Yeah, we don't get evil Rangers anymore, and it's really frustrating.
Yeah, we're more likely to get an evil character that turns good, which I'm a fan of, but both ways is good,
No, I still think Evil Ranger is one of the greatest arcs that we get in all of Rangers, because it's one that's been consistent enough where it's been in enough seasons, but we've steered so far away from it in the last 10 years.
Well, and Dino Charge had an Evil Ranger. or at least what could have been an Evil Ranger, and they didn't even use the suit.
Yeah.
Like, and it seemed like they were teasing it too. So that maybe they just don't like Evil Rangers, like whoever was in charge at the time, which now is different. So, you know,
Yeah, to
that
me,
would be
like,
amazing if they brought back that suit as an Evil Ranger in a future season.
that would be really cool.
Yeah, and it won't
Or if
happen.
they even brought it back in this season.
Yes, which is probably the most likely it would ever happen, considering things that are going to happen. Yeah, this season. Although I feel like next season, because it's like what in fall it's coming back. Yeah,
Who knows?
yeah. But to answer the question that you asked of me was, would I rather a whole team power up or an individual battleizer? I'm gonna say, generally speaking, I've been more happy with the whole team power ups. Not
Okay.
cockpit mode, but I always think of like Lost Galaxy with the Lights of Orion, Megaforce.
Yeah, oh,
I like
so cool.
I like the Megaforce, not the Mega mode where they turn into.
Oh yeah, the lion one.
Yeah, I
the
like
gold
that
one.
I think usually they're a little bit. They're not quite as over the top, which I like, but they're more over the top than one-off like Fury mode. Like they look like an actual powered up mode. And more often than not, you feel like, oh, they powered up and it did something. I hate when they power up and it doesn't seem to do anything. And there are a few individual battleizers that I like quite a bit, but there are more that I don't like. So, and not in story wise, but just in the way they look or whatever.
The aesthetics. Like, what are some examples of ones you don't like? Like, every
space.
time we talk about
in space,
battleizers,
I don't. Yeah.
in space you don't like?
No, I like that it's American only and that it like kind of started a trend. And if they made a thing of it, I'd probably get it for like historical context. But I hate the big rubber muscle body part of it. That just seems so out of place. So that's why I don't like it. The other one that I was talking about the other day from Dino Thunder, the weird Alpha 5 thing,
yeah.
like so. And that's the thing is, if that one battleizer is bad, that's it. You know what I mean? You had your one shot and one character has it. Whereas if the team battleizer isn't so great, well, maybe one person uses it well, or maybe it looks okay on one of their suits. Like you have more chances for it to like do something well. But that being said, I almost always would prefer an original Ranger, even like I said, with the bigger teams, you could make them evil or rogue or something.
I don't understand why Hasbro. I mean, granted, we're still early and we're asking a lot of Hasbro, especially right now.
Yeah.
But like, they have deluxe Marvel Legends of Black series. Just make battleized Rangers. Come on.
They would have to test the waters and do one first. Which one do you think? Not what do you want, but which one do you think they would make? What would be the safe bet?
I mean, based on what they have now, we have to assume it would be of a Ranger either coming out or one that they already made, which means West, which I hate. That's the number one that I hate.
I don't. Is that the one that
Lost
looks like a
Galaxy.
gold eagle?
Yes, so no. The gold eagle is Wild Force.
Yeah, no.
He has like a weird like mohawk and a flame sword.
Yeah, I don't mind it, but
I hate it. It doesn't fit the motif at all.
No, you're right. Wait, no. Is that his or was that Time Fire?
No, Eric's has the weird like roller skates with the like tonfa gun things, which are kind of cool, but like really angular.
Okay, because the other one would fit Eric more with the fiery, like because he has the jagged. Okay, well, okay, but we're trying to figure out which one they would make, and they probably wouldn't make that one.
So Lost Galaxy is one option because they already made it.
Yeah.
So he would be one.
Well, you're saying that it would have to be one they already made. I don't agree. It wouldn't. I understand from a cost saving, that's what you're saving that, and that's how they do these things. But they sometimes do it the other way, where the new figure comes out with the battleizer, and then 6 months, a year later, they release them vanilla.
Okay, I thought of one if they went with somebody they already made, but you don't appreciate it as much as I do, and hopefully the viewers. SPD.
Oh, well, I don't. You say that as though I wouldn't like it, but yeah, I just don't. I don't know.
I know that you don't like it, but hopefully you come around soon. Listen, the time you get
I've heard nothing but good things about SPD, and Doggy Kruger seems like a character I would really like, and I love the Zords. I have most of them in my collection already, so
yeah,
there's no way I'm gonna hate it. I might not like it as much as everyone else seems to, but there's no way I'm not gonna like that season.
That's true. Who are you thinking then? If it's somebody they haven't made where they release it and then later on they do something.
Even though it wouldn't be the one I would want, I kind of think Andros, because they haven't done any in space in the new line yet, and in space is very popular. Both with the older fans and with the newer fans, it's kind of like cross generation, like it's kind of in the middle there. Most people think well of it. And so a lot of people are going to want an Andros figure, even if they don't care about the Battleizer. And as we've seen with like Dragon Shield Zack and stuff, people will buy it and like customize it rather than wait. So they're going to get a lot of people that can't wait that'll get it, even though they don't care about the Battleizer. Then later on, the people who don't care about the Battleizer and could wait will get it. But also the Battleizer, it is like a historic first, and it's probably pretty simple. It's basically just like wings and like a new torso maybe. Although, as I'm saying this... Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say they'll probably do like a rubbery kind of chest piece like the Dragon Shield.
Yeah, but as I'm saying this, did he have just the chest piece, or was it arms and legs buffed up too?
I think he technically was all buffed up, but you could get away with just the chest.
They shouldn't, though, because it's the collector's line and everybody would complain about it. So if it's just the chest, I stand by what I just said. But actually, if he has to be completely buffed, that's a whole new figure, and then... I don't know. Then that's cost right there. So maybe not. So let's assume...
I mean, you could use Marvel Legends parts for it, though.
True. Okay. And then it actually would be a different figure, so they could get people to buy Andros twice. All right. That's my pick. What do you think?
Okay. One I was thinking of would be like, so it's the weird thing of there's two schools of thought, kind of like what we just talked about with the exclusives they were released, where do they make it the same base body so people could like DIY it to the base form if they're impatient,
right?
Or do they honestly make it 100% its own thing and run the risk of people just not buying it?
Did you
know what I mean?
Yeah, I was waiting for your follow-up.
Oh, no. So like one I thought of was Mystic Force, because it's a very like striking, like it's very cool to the casual person. Like it's got Phoenix motif, it's got like all these bright metallic colors, it's got blue and I think some green and red and stuff. But then also, if they don't have swappable parts, people could just be like, oh, I personally don't like this, I only want the base form, and then it gets clearanced out, and then we're at the crossroads that we're at of like the Rider series in Marvel Legends.
I mean, that's sort of what I said about the in space, though, because I'm assuming they would have to build an original figure that's more muscular or whatever. So it'd be the same problem as what you're describing. I guess I'm saying, though, that because I'm picking a popular character from a popular season, there are going to be people who will buy it. There are going to be people who will double dip for sure. And there are going to be people that will want an Andros, even if that's not their favorite version, and just not want to wait 6 months, a year, however long, and hope that another one comes out. So I think it won't work as well for Mystic Force because that's not as popular of a season. But is that your pick or?
So honestly, my pick would probably be SPD. I think yours is good because that's a way they can introduce it because it was the first Battleizer.
Right.
Dino Thunder, they haven't done any, and that one's not good.
They could do
Overdrive,
the Triassic mode, but they could just do that with a regular figure. They don't need to do.
Yeah, that could just be a Walgreens exclusive, honestly. Trying to think who else. Lost Galaxy would be decent, and they already have his figure made.
Lightspeed,
they just put the shell over it.
Lightspeed Rescue would be the worst one because they're all different, and you can't make one. Then everyone's gonna want all three.
Yeah. Then Time Force we just talked about, which would be awful. Wild Force would be okay.
I don't remember. Oh yeah, Wild Force. I'm looking up at my figures, trying to think of. Which one. Yeah.
Ninja Storm's fine.
But I'll also say
I didn't love it. I didn't hate it.
Man, I'll also say, just like with the show, with the toys, and I know you won't agree with me on this. If I had a choice between like 2 or 3 more new figures or one Battleizer, I would take 2 or 3 more figures, like regular figures.
But you also have to think about it in the sense of when it comes to like you getting Ranger figures, if there's a wait between a wave and there's a 2-pack at GameStop of a Zed and a Rita and you already have a Zed, you're going to get the 2-pack. If there's a lull and there's one exclusive at Walgreens, you're going to get like whatever comes out, you're going to get. And it's an easy way of them satiating the need to buy Ranger stuff.
No, that's not true because I didn't get the Rita and Zed pack.
Well, it's not out yet.
Well, I don't plan on getting it.
If you saw it in person, I could easily see you getting it on the spot.
I want that Rita figure, but I'm so mad that they want me to buy Zed again. I will get it
You'll
if it goes
do
on
it. I
sale.
know you're gonna do it.
No, you don't. If it goes on sale, I will. But out of principle, I'm not getting it.
Here's what's gonna happen. One
Yeah.
of two things.
Okay.
You're either gonna concede and
Right.
you're gonna buy it, and I'm right,
Or
or you're gonna wait. It won't go on sale. It will then be hard to get, and then you will potentially cave and pay more, like you have Bebop and Rocksteady, and then you'll go, "Oh, I should have just bought it. I don't want to admit that Big Dog was right, but here we are."
two things. One, both of those are
Bebop and
possibilities.
Rocksteady, you haven't seen in person. You wanted to get it either way. That's fine. That was
Yes,
already two.
that was a bad example because I never had a chance to buy it, and I only paid a few bucks more than retail. So that's a bad example. But the other thing is that you said here are two possibilities. No, you said it's one of two things. Those are both valid possibilities, but those aren't the only possibilities. The other possibility is that it does go on sale. They do become cheap. I find one loose at a toy show. I buy it on eBay and pay 25 or 30 instead of buying the whole pack. There are other ways it can go other than just the two outlined, and I'm going to wait and see what happens.
I think based on what we've seen from both exclusive and non-exclusive 2-packs of the Lightning Collection,
Right.
that you're more likely to buy it together and get rid of the Zed on your own than to buy it separate because you're almost there anyway.
You're saying that because I bought two of the Tommy and Putty packs. That's the only time I've done that.
That's no, I'm not talking about just you. I'm talking about in general. Like
Oh,
I've
the-
looked.
oh,
I had
people.
it. Yeah, just in general.
Okay. That's true.
Like the only one that's weird is Psycho because the only people that bought extras were people who wanted to army build it potentially.
Right, or customized.
And like customized.
Yeah, which
Yeah.
that goes back to what I was saying about people being impatient. The assumption they put out red, they put out blue. The assumption is they're going to put it out the rest. But for people that can't wait, they're like, I'm going to buy extra and paint them. So they can't wait and they have extra time, which I don't have either of those things. I'd rather wait and just get it done. But whatever. Yeah. So that was kind of a 2-for-1 question because it was about the show, but we ended up talking about the toys as well. But
All the above.
I'll tell you what I would want though from the toys. This kind of goes against what I was just saying about wanting more figures, more than a Battleizer. Is I can't remember what it's called, but Casey's motorcycle in Jungle Fury.
Oh yeah.
And he has
that'd
that
be
kind
kinda
of like
cool.
harness that he wears. I would like that pack, which isn't a Battleizer, but I would like that.
Close enough. That was
Yeah.
essentially like his Battleizer for the season, to be
Right.
honest.
But that was in the Sentai, wasn't it?
probably. That's
thought
why
it
it was in
was.
there. I would
Yeah.
assume.
But yeah, that
I think they just got away from like vehicles in general.
Yeah, and I'm not a huge fan of the personal vehicles normally, but I mean it's Jungle Fury, so I already like Jungle Fury, but I liked that motorcycle in that show and the mode he had like more than others I had seen. So
Yeah.
meh.
That was one I forgot. Like Jungle Master mode was one that like worked really well with that, and I didn't
Yeah.
mind getting both versions.
Same, because it wasn't like a crazy battleizer or something. It felt like, oh, we've reached a certain level now. We like got our new belt like in
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. I have the Jungle Master mode, and they just add a little bit of white piping, and everybody like gets a little refresh. Hey, we feel cool now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did RPM
So
have a battleizer? I don't remember. I want to say no.
they had to have had something.
I mean, I could look it up, I guess.
I feel like Scott did.
I mean, Scott would be the
I
one
may
to have
just
it.
be.
Yeah.
I may just be getting it confused with the crossover movie because he
Where-
had the shark
Right,
like,
but that
little
was
thing.
that was borrowed. That
I-
wasn't.
Was it something else?
I'm looking up on.
I mean,
Ranger
they
Wiki
did
right
their
now.
like weird super speed things, but it's really bothering me
Triassic,
to, like,
SPD, Mystic Force. It looks
maybe
like
they skipped it because they're like
on-
they may get rid of Power Rangers. Who cares?
on Ranger Wiki, which doesn't mean it's 100% right, but it has
Yeah.
Mystic, then it says Red Sentinel Ranger from Overdrive, then the next one is Shogun
Yeah.
mode from Samurai. So it does look like maybe Overdrive was the last one until they came back.
I mean, it makes semi sense. No, not really, because I'm trying to think of the Sentai, and it was so over the top. Like they should totally give them outlandish things with googly eyes.
Yeah, I don't see it. Oh, there is an honorable mention about the Striker Rider armor, which is what Casey had, which is basically just shoulder
Yep.
pads. Um,
Yeah.
did not
It
receive a
was like a
full
football
Battleizer.
like chest
Yeah,
piece.
which I don't love, but it would look cool. When he's standing there, it looks stupid, but on the motorcycle, it worked.
Yeah, it had some charm.
Yeah. All right. Was there any other questions that we could spend 25 minutes talking about?
Yeah, I know, right? Um, there were some others, but not that they were bad questions. I just don't happen to remember them, and I'm not looking them up.
Okay.
Back on the toy topic, because I just love talking toys with you. If you had to pick one figure that is definitively your favorite from Lightning Collection right now, what is it?
Oh. You go first. I'm not sure. I'd have to think.
So recency bias is a huge factor in this,
Okay.
and every figure is great. But I've been playing with this one most recently, and I opened it not that long
Oh,
ago.
SPD Red.
But dude, it's hard to beat this Draken.
Oh, okay.
He is just so great.
Here's the thing with Draken. He is good, but kind of all the psychos and all the characters with shields, the Lightning Collection, I'm getting rid of pretty much all of my Lightning Collection except for those because there are aspects that I like better, and Draken is no exception. Where like I think his shield was better in the Lightning Collection version, the Bandai did.
Legacy.
Yes, I'm sorry. Legacy. I'm mixing them up.
Just to make sure people aren't confused.
Yeah,
by your
yeah.
statement,
I'm saying
but I know
that the old line I've mostly gotten rid of, but I'm keeping some, and that's one that I'm keeping for
Yeah.
that reason. But you
But,
disagree?
like,
You think he's 100% better?
I don't think the old ones. I think this one's 100% better. Yeah, I still have my old ones as well, just to be transparent. But like,
Right.
especially giving him that Sword of Darkness. I mean, the helmet is what sold me on this. The
Wait,
helmet is
the
so
old one
much
didn't
better
have
on
the
this.
Sword of Darkness? I thought it did.
No, neither of them did. The Sword of Darkness I took from my Green Ranger.
Oh, right. You're right. Gotcha. I knew I had one. Okay.
Yeah, he only the Bandai one comes with Saba and the Dragon Dagger, and then
Right.
the Hasbro one only comes with the Dragon Dagger.
But both of them have
Kind of
released
bums
the
me
Sword
out
of
because I would
Darkness.
love, I would love
Yeah.
a mangled Saba.
Yeah, well, I think the Bandai one had Saba, but it wasn't mangled. You'd actually have to deface it to make it.
You had to mangle it yourself.
What I want to do is walk in the other room and look at my display case. Because I'm thinking the one that's come into my head, which I don't think is accurate without looking at my case. You want to take a guess? It'll surprise you. The one that I think of just off the top of my head.
Goldar?
Yeah! Wow! I did not think you'd guess it. Because that would...
Want to know why?
Why? Because that's your second choice?
Because we never had a great Goldar before now.
Yeah.
His accessory piece actually is kind of cool and could work. Like, it's not so outlandish you wouldn't put it with it.
Right.
His sword's good. His wings are great and articulated.
Yep.
And he's just metallic enough where he doesn't have that mustard look and just has a great presence with all of your other figures that look similar.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. So I'll tell you what, though.
Ninja Steel.
I'll give you Ninja Steel, but I'm going to walk in the other room. You'll still be able to hear me, but I'm going to look at my case to see if I still think that's true or what my second choice would be, because it's bothering me now. So go ahead and look at my empty chair. There's a little pink bed there for my cat. And let me take a look here. Looking at my case, Goldar does look awesome. Okay. Yeah, like Blaze is a great figure, but Goldar.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're all very good.
He's the only non-humanoid that we've gotten.
Okay.
Or non-human, I should say.
I'm gonna say Goldar was a very good choice, but I think I'll say this: it's a tie. Goldar is a tie with one other figure.
All right. Is it? Trying to think of what you have and what you don't have.
I have everything that's been out so far except for the brandy newest figures. Like I don't have time.
Maybe Psycho Blue.
I like Psycho Blue, but no. And Psycho Blue is like Draken, where I have the old one as well, and there's certain elements of each that I like better. And the fact that I also already had a good one, like you said, Goldar, there's never been a really good Goldar. Zed would be up there, but not in the top one or two.
Oh, Armored Red.
No, what? Are you kidding? For you?
I thought I'd try. No, for you, I got nothing. I don't know.
I don't love Armored Red as much as you do, and that's another one, like I said, that has the armor that I have the old one, which I kind of prefer the old one in some ways.
The
'Cause of,
reason I say
yeah.
that is because the power cannon is
Mhm.
such a huge game changer as an accessory
That's
that I could
awesome.
see you having it with that.
I do
Yeah.
have it with that, and that's awesome. But I don't like the shield. I don't like any of the new shields. I think all the old shields were done better. Um, it's funny you said that Goldar is one of the only non-humans we've gotten, which isn't true because we've gotten Doggy Kruger and a few others. But the one I'm thinking of is Magna Defender. He is
Yeah,
amazing.
he's so good.
And
He's great.
I feel like Goldar, because of his place in history and because he's a villain and we don't get enough villains, he like narrowly ekes out Magna Defender. But in my heart, I prefer the Magna Defender figure. I like that character and that the cape and the shotgun sword and like I like Magna
Yeah.
Defender better than Goldar, but that Goldar figure like, in the collection is a better piece, I guess.
I think it's also funny that you picked two characters with the same voice
I
actor.
know, yeah, Kyrian. What's his name? Kerrigan Morgan. I'm saying it
I
kind of
think.
correct. Well, just like people in our comments, I'm kind of getting it right. It's something Kerrigan Morgan esque. Maybe it's Kyrian Morgan.
KM.
Yeah, it's KM. I know what it looks like in my head. I don't know if I've ever heard it said out loud. Yeah.
Yeah, Magna Defender is one of those figures that like you want to give it to people that just have like a 6-inch figure collection. You're
Yeah.
like, put him with whatever. He's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
He doesn't look like a Power Ranger. He'll go with
You
anything.
could go with anything. Yeah, he's good. Or he could be a villain. He could be a hero. Who knows? Is he a robot? Is he an alien? Doesn't
I was
matter.
gonna say he sometimes was all of the above.
That's true. He could go with Doctor Who figures. Like he would fit right into that too.
Yeah. I thought you were gonna say Doctor Doom. I'm like, I could see him being like a
Oh
henchman for
yeah.
Doctor Doom.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I'll see him punching the thing. I need you to set up that pose now.
I don't want to mix my Fantastic Four shelf with my Power Ranger shelf. They're both set up the way I like
For
them.
one image, you can't
Wait,
do it.
don't you have the thing in Magna Defender?
I do in totally separate places that I have to dig out, and they're not on display right now.
Right. So what makes more sense? Me disrupting two of my displays to do this, or you taking them out of a box to do this?
You know what? Let's let chat decide.
We could let chat decide which
Because
makes
I
more
don't
sense.
have a good answer for you. Yeah.
Well, I can tell you, I'm not gonna, because the way anybody that collects toys, I'm sure you know this. Even if you just have them standing next to each other, to take one out, it's like weird Jenga. We're like, okay, I'm gonna get it, and it's inevitable that you're gonna knock over three others, and a sword falls out of somebody's hands. So it's like, oh, the 1 second I was gonna use to take these two figures out, I now have to spend 15 minutes resetting up everything else, and I have them both in poses I like, so I'll have to like repose them. And I'm not doing it.
It's like Jenga and Operation put together. Because the second you
Yes.
hit something wrong, you're
Ah!
the one who makes the noise and go, ah!
Ah! That's very good, and my nose lights up, and
Yeah. So since
Yeah.
obviously we've been watching Rangers the last couple weeks, what is one game or toy related thing that you've done in the last few weeks that you didn't a month prior, let's say? Could be a hobby, like you're building stuff, could be, posed around a certain collection, reorganized, played a new game, like what'd you do?
that's Ranger related.
No, it doesn't have to be Ranger
Oh,
related.
I thought you. Okay. I was like, because I like we've been talking about. Well, I actually one thing I've been doing that I was gonna, I was gonna tie it into Power Rangers, believe it or not. And I think we've talked about this. Maybe this is what you were thinking of. I don't play a lot of video games, mainly because of time. I used to play a lot. I just don't have the time anymore. But a game I started playing is called Dead by Daylight. It's a couple years old. I play it on Steam, and it's a 4-player co-op game where there's 4 people that it's a horror game. 4 people play survivors, and one person plays the killer, and you play it online. So like the killer's on a different team. You can't talk to him or everything. You can play by yourself, or you can play with your friends, but it's basically 4 against 1. And I've been really enjoying it. I like horror movies, and it's really fun. It's got kind of a base level, generic killers and generic backgrounds, but then you could get upgrades, so it could be Stranger Things and the Demo Gordon, or you can get it's Elm Street and you have Freddy and things like that. And you could also get skins for the survivors. So I got Ash Williams from Evil Dead, and I got Laurie Strode from Halloween to play as
Nice.
characters. Yeah, but I wasn't gonna bring it up to just talk about some random video game I'm playing. But I was, before you even say this, it's funny because I was like, I don't know a lot of Ranger news. It's all been about Star Wars because today's Star Wars Day, and like, I haven't heard a lot of
Yeah.
stuff. But I was thinking about the way they reskin it with these different monsters and stuff like that. I don't think you could just throw in like a Power Rangers monster, but you know how people will take Doom and like kind of rework the whole thing and it's like a slightly different game and it's like running
Oh
on the
yeah,
Doom
yeah, yeah.
engine. You could take the engine of this game and make it a Power Rangers game. And what you would have to make it, you'd have to change the balance a little bit so that there was 5 instead of 4, obviously, so they could have a full team.
Yeah.
But you take a monster like a Goldar, let's say, and there's not a lot of fighting. Basically, if the killer gets you, you get hurt, you got to run away. It's a lot of strategy. But everybody has different abilities, and so you have a Goldar, and you're in Angel Grove or wherever. And a big part of this game is you have to fix generators, and it takes a while, and but maybe instead of fixing generators, you're unlocking your power weapons. And so if all 5 of
Oh,
you
that'd be
unlock your
cool.
power weapons, now you get together and you could take out Goldar. So like there's other tweaks that would have to be made, but you would start with a base like kind of like I said with this game. You'd start with its Mighty Morphin, and you got Goldar and like I don't know Babu and whoever the King Sphinx, a couple of the major ones from the
Yeah.
beginning. And then over time, they're like, okay, now you could get Tommy. And then it's like, oh, guess what? We just released Lightspeed Rescue, and we just released Zed, and I could see it working the same way it's working for the horror genre in the Power Rangers universe. And then if it was really
Yeah.
popular, you could build on some Megazord mode or whatever. But the basic idea of having to get these generators, but flipping it for power weapons, it just made so much because you have to get all the generators to open the door. So you get all the power weapons to fire at Goldar, or whoever. Like
Or you're trapped in the command center, and in order to like have powers activate or something, you have to flip the generators in there.
maybe, but there's different there'd be different maps. There couldn't be just one map, so that could be one of them. Oh, the other thing is the
Yeah.
killer when he catches you, he puts you on a hook. And that doesn't immediately kill you. Like people have a chance to save you and stuff. Over time, and eventually you're out of the game. You don't want to do that in a Power Rangers game, but it could be he shoves you into like a teleportation tube, but it takes like a few minutes to power up, and like your friends could come save you. But if they don't, you're teleported to the moon prison or whatever. You know what I mean?
Oh, what if you have what if he like locks you in something and then has the candle burn? Like
For,
how they had the green
I mean, that would be
candle.
great for the Green Ranger, but for everybody,
No, they did it at some point for everybody.
did they?
Yeah, there was an episode where I think like Jason or somebody had to save him, where like they replicated the green candle, but for all the other Rangers, and it was going to drain all their powers for good.
Oh,
And
okay,
at the last
yeah.
second, they saved him, and it was all good.
Okay, sure. I'll go with that.
But that's cool.
Yeah.
So. How long have you been playing that game for?
A week or two, not very long.
I know it was one. Gazbot brought it up to me. I think right when you downloaded it, because I have it on my PS4.
Right. That was the.
And I was like, "Oh, let's play!" And then as it was downloaded, it was like, "Yeah, we can't play cross-platform."
because I play on PC and he plays on console. Yeah. But
Yeah,
that was the first day I ever played it, and so that was. I don't even think that was 2 weeks ago. I think it's been like a week and a week and a
I
half.
have no sense of time anymore.
What about you? Is there something that you've been doing that is new or different?
So it's funny. So I haven't been watching as much TV, which is surprising.
Mm.
Been watching weird, like, gone down weird YouTube rabbit holes where I'll kind of let the algorithm like tell me what I'm going to watch.
Right.
But watching a lot of food and cooking videos, which is interesting.
Do you
But
do much
in
cooking?
the last, I've done a lot more now, actually.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah, being at home more, I've been a lot more like trying to just experiment with like the same ingredients I've had, because like I can make like a scramble or a sandwich, like obviously basic stuff, but like after a while with similar ingredients, I'm like, okay, this is kind of boring. What could I do different? And like even like making burgers different and stuff. So I've been doing that over the last like 2 months.
Right.
But in the last week specifically, I focused a lot more on model kits, and I built
Oh,
3 kits in the last week.
Gundams?
One of which, 2 were Gundams. One was not.
Mini-Pla? Oh, here we
One
go.
was this mamma jamma right here.
Let's give a Big Dog one shot.
So let me attach the tail.
Now, that looks like the Dragon Zord, but I feel like it's more of a King Caesar.
I agree. I think it's a lot more of a King Caesar.
Right.
The articulated tail is pretty great. Like, you
don't
could
move
do
it around so
this.
much because you're lagging a lot. So, like, just try to hold it
Oh.
still. It looks really blurry when you move it. Okay, yeah. There you go. Now we can see it.
This one was a lot easier to build than the Megazord, which was great.
Probably because there was less
Um,
individual individual Zords you had to construct.
yeah, the box is only this big versus a much bigger Megazord box.
Gotcha.
But you can obviously combine it with the other Megazord. I haven't done it just because I'm not ready for that kind of commitment
Also,
right now.
do you does it transform like the toys would, or do you have to like disassemble and reassemble pieces?
No, it like these are fully transformable. That's why they're so
So
expensive,
then
is
what's the
because
commitment?
they're like I have the Megazord kind of set up already. Either I have the
Oh, so you
Megazord
have
set
him
up.
set up in a pose you like in a display, and you don't want to remove him.
No, they're in a box right now.
You said you have it set up the way you want.
So because the Zords are so much smaller, they're a lot more cumbersome to transform. They transform, but because there's more tiny pieces, it's more intricate and less simple for children like the original toys
Right.
are. So
So,
that's why.
okay.
No, you don't get a Ninja Steel point.
No,
I'm not agreeing with you.
I
It's
just
totally
I know.
doable. I'm just
That's
choosing not
all right.
to.
We're agreeing to disagree, I guess.
Yeah. But
That's
yeah.
cool though. I'm glad that you built that and that you're actually building the gun. Now, does that make you think about getting more of the mini plaws, or are you gonna stick with what you got?
I'm down to get more of the Sentai mini plaws actually. Like I don't have any other than these,
Mhm.
and I'd be very down. Like I just need to hunt around more. But like the one
Hunter
that
on
I
for
know
a
we
good
talked
price? What do
about,
you mean? Excuse
yeah,
me.
good price. Like right now, prices are not great for them.
Mm.
Like most collectibles actually don't have a lot of sales, which is really frustrating.
Yeah.
Because right now is the time I've been looking at like different model kits and stuff. I'm like, there's not one on sale.
Well,
Like
I
there's
feel
not
like
one you're trying to get rid of.
yeah. And if they go up, then basically what like Grand Liner and the light the two ones they just came out with like the train one, which I think is called Grand Liner, and then the
Oh,
other
for Lightspeed, yeah,
yeah, the solar one, which I forget what the name is. I think those are the
yeah,
probably
Max
only
Solar
two that
Sword.
are like easily gettable at retail. But you're looking for less
Well,
than
that's
retail.
well, I'm not looking for retail on those. I'm looking for like if they have like Q Ranger ones that are a little bit cheaper because they're older, or Real Soldier and stuff, just so
Are,
like I have a little diversity for them.
what if it was open and built already? Would you care? Like, do you want to build it
If
or
it
do you
was
just want the
cheaper,
figure?
both. Like a part
Mm.
of the fun is building it. Like it was very
Yeah.
satisfying building those.
Right.
And like for these specifically, if I got if I bought these, let's say $20 less than retail,
Right.
like I wouldn't have bought them if they were already built.
Oh, that's
I
funny.
honestly probably wouldn't have bought them at retail,
I
but
Whereas
um
I would pay retail if they were already built. Like I don't really want them, but if I wanted them, I would happily buy one that was already built.
yeah, the other thing too that's like I've learned firsthand is even though they're built, you like it's kind of a gamble.
What do you mean?
Like cuz as I was building it, there were parts that were kind of finicky, and if you do it wrong,
You get like
like
stress
it's
fractures and stuff.
really it's super wrong.
So
Yeah,
it's
like
that you don't
if
trust you don't trust some rando to have done it right.
yeah, like you're running the risk of like, yeah, it's put together and it's fine. And then you look and like, oh, well, like this one piece, I forgot to put another piece on. So I had to pry it open, which stressed the crap out
Mm.
of it. And then I put it like all these things are just running in my head. It's kind of the same logic of like when you and I go toy hunting and we pass a place and we're like, whatever we're looking for is that place we're not going to.
Right.
It's like that where I'm assuming something's wrong because I didn't see it be built.
Um, that makes a lot of sense, but it's funny because for half a second I'm like, maybe there's a scenario where I would get a mini flaw, and then you're like, you just convinced me. No, there is no scenario where I would get it because you're right. I'd be like,
Well, it comes down to like any other figure where like if the price is right and you're willing to risk it, it's fine. Like if somebody posted these up for $20 a piece, I would jump on. I already have them. I would jump on them again.
yeah, I guess that's
And
true.
like
And you could have them in different
the
modes or
price,
whatever.
the price is the driving factor. For $80+ per, I'm like absolutely not. Like
Yeah,
the model kit, we talked about it. The model kit for this, I think, is more than the Sola Chogokin of the King Caesar,
which
which
is
makes
nuts to
zero
me.
sense
Yeah,
to me.
it's nuts to me. I actually
Yeah, absolutely.
talking about not transforming things. I'm kind of side tangent because I have the Soul Shogun King Caesar and Daisugen. Although actually it might have been branded Power Rangers. I don't remember which. I transformed the individual Zords into the Megazord. Dragon Caesar, I've never transformed into the Sentinel, and I've never combined them because they're shiny metal parts and plastic and stuff, and I know I'm not gonna leave it in that form. They're in the form I want, and I'm like, I've seen what that looks like. It's not like, ooh, let me find out. I've seen what it looks like both with the vintage figures, and I've played with them, and I've seen online
Yeah.
other people do it, and I'm like, my luck, I'm gonna do it and get a big scratch on the metal or break a piece. So I'm just like, this is the mode I want him in. I'm just gonna leave him this way.
Yeah.
Same. Yeah.
That's like I could do this and it will be fine, but it's one of those things where I'm like, I don't know. Like, don't quote me on never doing it, but I
Right.
don't have a large like kind of want to do so right now.
That's fair. And who knows? Maybe in 5 years I'll be like, you know what? I want him in the big mode now, and I'll do it. But I doubt
Yeah.
it. Yeah. If I
To
did
me,
it now,
like,
if I did it now, it would be
oh, go
just to
for it.
play with them and just to see, and then immediately undo it, so that there's no point.
Yeah, the thing for me is this is the only set of figures where the T-Rex and the Dragon Zord are actually closest to scale where I
That's
like them.
cool. That is cool.
Where like, because you know what I mean, where like the old
Yeah.
toys are like, man, T-Rex just looks sad next to that combined like
Well,
Megazord
I,
mode.
and it's
Whereas,
not and to be fair, it's not the only toy line to do this. Lots of shows have things at a certain scale or whatever, but then in the toys they don't translate. But that one's so egregious. It's understand they should have
yeah,
what they should have done is released a second one that was the same size because they're shown side by side and it's almost like two dinosaur Zords. You want to have them fighting, but you kind of never can.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
we
I don't know if. Oh, go for it.
I was gonna say we've been going for about 45 minutes, so we don't want to go too much longer. We can keep going on this
Yeah,
route,
yeah.
but if you had anything else you want to talk about, I'm just throwing it out there.
Yeah, I got you. What I was gonna say on this, and then we could switch gears a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm actually kind of tempted. I gotta shop around and look. The like right before Bandai switched over, they did this like kind of one-off where they released 3 of the Mighty Morphin Zords on their own.
Yes.
They did Sabretooth, Mastodon, and T-Rex. I'm wondering how that scales with the Solo Chogokin. If it's potentially bigger than the Legacy one or the Chogokin one, where I could just put those side
Right.
by side and it would be fine, since I don't have the Megazord other than Legacy.
Didn't I don't know. I feel like it would scale pretty well, but I haven't
But
seen
that's
it
the
in
thing.
a
I don't know
while.
if it's same, smaller, or bigger. Like, if
I
it's
mean,
bigger, awesome. If not, then
I'm just basing it on my memory of having seen it in the store, and I feel like it's probably pretty close. I mean, don't quote me on that because this was like 3 years ago. I saw it in a store or whatever. But there was also a vinyl Red Zord that was only available in Japan that looked like show accurate and didn't transform or anything. It was just like that. That at some point I was looking into getting, but it got too expensive or I changed my mind for some reason. I don't know how big that one was, but I feel like it was, maybe like 12 inches or something.
probably a reasonable size. Yeah, I'll have
Yeah.
to look at MMPR Toys. I'm sure he does the size comparison for it because he's
Yeah.
great at that.
Good call. Oh, what about Imagine X? Didn't they do one as well?
They did. It's too cartoony. It's kind of like, uh, uh, what word am I looking for? The
Car-
big head
caricature?
art. No, no, no. The
Yeah,
Japanese big head stuff.
chibi.
Chibi. Thank you. It's
Okay,
very chibi-like.
gotcha.
There we go.
Well, do your research and get back to us.
Yeah. I will say,
Yeah.
for model kits, I did get I ordered it kind of on a whim, like a while ago, and finally built it. They have this line called SDCS, super deformed, and then cross
Excuse me.
silhouette is what the CS is for. So pretty much what it is, it would be like if ever you were to be into a model kit, I feel like this is what would like.
I don't
This is the
know.
way they sell it to you.
I'm not a big super deformed guy.
Well, here's the thing.
Yeah.
Why do you not like super deformed?
Because it's too cartoony.
Okay, and why else?
The proportions are too exaggerated.
Exactly.
Okay.
So what it is it's mostly Gundam, but they branched into another thing, which is what I built, and I'll get to. So what
What's
it
it called?
is the
SDX.
SDCS.
Okay.
Don't look yet though. Wait till after I tell you
Okay.
to save this prize. So it started with Gundam. obviously Gundam SD is chibi Gundams that everybody likes. They've been doing it for years, but they're
Not
doing
everybody.
like a new line of it as of like 4 years ago.
Right.
And they were like, hey, there's a lot of people who like Gundam SD, and that's fine. There's other people like Gazbot who said, I feel like I would like it better if it was a little more like proportioned and I could actually move it around. And they went, you know what? That's a great idea.
Those words never came into my mouth, just to be clear. This is your assumption of what I'd want. You're making it sound like we had a discussion, which we did not. I never said that.
Okay, you didn't say that. They went, how do we get someone like Gazbot to care about this line? So what they did is CS is slightly longer limbs, so it's articulated and it's just bigger than like SD, and it actually has articulation that looks kind of cool, but the big head's the same. But you don't have to have the googly eyes like RPM. You could have like actual like just like colored like visor light up eyes like you should get.
Can I look at a picture now?
Yes. What you should look up is Mazinger SDCS, which is what I built. I built a great Mazinger, and let me tell you, it's pretty awesome. I really like it. It was not difficult to build. They have great Mazinger, Mazinger Z, Mazing Kaiser, and they have Getter.
All right, let me. I'm gonna put that on the screen so people can see what I'm looking at. ST's Mazinger. Okay, so I see what you mean. They're still kind of like short and stocky.
Well, it depends on which one you're looking at. If you see him in a good action pose, that's the CS.
CDCS.
If you see him
retail goes for about $12. Not including shipping.
12 to 20, like 12 in Japan.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm looking at.
So they're like 15 to 20 here. You could order them on Big Bad Toy Store.
How
Amazon.
tall are they?
You know what? Hang on. Let me grab it.
Okay. Oh, there you go. Yeah, news.
BRB.
All right. I'm looking at a Gunpla blog, and you can see there is Mazinger Z on the left. There's Great Mazinger on the right. They look pretty small. I'm gonna guess they're like 4 inches. We'll see when he comes back. They are kind of cute. He's wrong. I'm not going to buy these and build them because I still don't want to build anything. And these are kind of cute, but I have Soul Chogokin of both of these figures, at least one. Mazinger I've actually got 2 or 3 of because he's one of my favorite robots. So unfortunately for the big dog, I still will not be buying a model kit, at least at this juncture. And he has gotten, I'm going to do 2-shot. Let's see. Yep, there's. So Big Dog, what was your favorite season of Power Rangers? Could you let us know, please?
Operation Overdrive is my favorite season.
Oh, that's what I thought. Thanks. Thank you so much. I love doing that. But yeah, going back to this, I don't know why he thinks I want this, to be honest. I'm not into chibi. I'm not into models. I do like Mazinger. If I didn't have any Mazinger, this is cheap enough that I would consider getting it, and I do like it better than the straight SD stuff. He's right about that. But yeah, it's just not like here. Look, if I put in SOC, which is still a Chogokin, this is the stuff like I prefer this style where it's much more realistic and it's metal. They're more expensive, so I've only got a couple. I don't have, the models, I guess you can collect all of them. And there are certainly some from this line that I don't have for that reason. Like this one right here, I thought looked really cool. It's like a damaged version, but you can see it's going for like $200. I don't need it that bad. So yes, he's gone for a long time, and the show is going to be done soon. I don't know what he's doing, folks. Look, there's just a chair. Oh my goodness. Well, let's look at some of the intros that we.
Hey guys, it's me, Karen Ashley, Aisha, the Yellow Power Ranger. Action activate.
Here's James Davies. Oh no, he's not. Here's James Davies.
Action activate.
He did confirm that he did study dance too. That wasn't just a random thing. Here's me from Christmas.
Ready. Action. Activate. Christmas time. Go, 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 go!
All right, enough of that. Oh, I don't know why he did this. He did this right at the end of the show. I want to talk about things, and and what I should do, because it's pre-recorded, is just stop recording and edit this out. But I'm not going to, because I don't. The whole point was do a fly by the seat of our pants, quick show, throw it out there. I don't want to have to worry about editing later, so I'm gonna leave this in. And he's gonna get back, and he's gonna show us the thing, and then he's gonna be like, I got all these other things I want to talk about.
So I'm here.
Here he comes.
So I went and looked.
You were gone for quite a while there, sir.
Time.
That's
yeah, because I
fantastic.
misplaced it. I put it in the same box as the Megazord.
All right, I'm gonna give you one shot.
So here it is in its CS
I
mode.
guessed 4 inches tall.
Probably about right.
Yeah.
4 to 5.
Now what? Oh, so you could extend or unextend the limbs. Is that what it is?
Yeah, so the cool thing about the Mazinger one specifically
Mm-hmm.
is you don't need a second frame. You just kind of flip it so
Right.
it either doesn't articulate or it does articulate. For the
Gotcha.
Gundam one, they sell you one that's an SD, and if you want to make it a CS, you got to buy an $8 frame
Oh,
to
and then
put all the pieces over.
and you got to rebuild it, kind of.
No, so all the pieces will come off and you just form it on an inner frame. Whereas these are all in one for both modes,
Right,
which is why on paper they're more expensive.
But these are I like that better, where you just pull them out like and extend it or don't extend it. That makes way more sense for what they're trying to accomplish. What I'm trying to understand is, let's
Exactly.
you buy the Gundam, you buy the extra $8 frame. Once you put it on the $8 frame, can you then extend it or not extend it, or do you have to transfer them between frames every time you want to do it differently?
You have to transfer them between
That's stupid.
between frames
That's
for the
terrible.
Gundam.
No, what you've described with the Mazinger, not just because I like Mazinger, but that's a fun poop. Sure, having to rebuild it semi every time, that's terrible. I will not be buying these. They're kind of cool. I have some Mazingers in my collection already that I didn't have to build that I like better. So I'm sorry.
Just size comparison.
I'm excited for you. I'm excited for you.
Here's a Lightning collection,
Yep. So 4 inches looks about right.
and here is a basic Bandai figure. So yeah, 4.5.
Yeah, because they're about 5. So if it wasn't for the
But
point
yeah,
on the top of
it's-
his head. No, I think those are great for you because you're into the models and you're not as big of a fan of that franchise as I am. So it's a cheap, fun way to have some. Yeah, that's great.
Well, I'm gonna have both versions. I'm gonna have these, and I'm gonna have the Infinity style that
I did consider getting the Infinity because that was actually
really
a different
cool.
it's a different like version of the character. But I decided I'll just wait and get a figure of it one day if I really need it. But we're almost
They
out
have
of
the
time.
metal builds. They're just expensive.
Yeah, so that's why I haven't got it yet. We are almost out of time. I'm going to give you the last thing. One more thing you want to talk about, and then we're done because we're at 57 minutes right now.
That is or is not news related.
I don't care, but just one thing, whatever it is.
Got it. Legend of the White Dragon update week 3.
Okay.
As of today, they are at $203,415 with 22 days to go, less than 50,000 away from the extended series, I believe. Let me confirm that. Where are their goals? Tell me where your goals
I can tell
are.
you something.
Pretty sure that's right.
It's been confirmed that Johnny Young Bosch is not coming back, and I think it's also been confirmed that Yoshi Sudarso is not going to be involved. I say confirmed because for sure at Johnny and Bosch, and I'm pretty sure the other one they said was Yoshi, because on Jason Font's Instagram, he posted something, and someone was like, "Cool, I can't wait to see you guys." Blah blah blah. You know, because they keep announcing new people coming back and different people, and Jason Font's like, "Yeah, unfortunately, scheduling not going to be able to come back for this one." So that stinks, especially because, like I said, we've seen him in it. So then now it's the question of, is that going to be stock footage that they'll use, or is they cutting that character out altogether?
I could see them using that as like what they filmed already as like a past or present scene.
Maybe, unless that character played a bigger role in the film, then they'd have to recast it. You know what I mean? If it's like,
I think they just have to rewrite it all.
We'll see. But yeah, according to Jason Font's Instagram, Johnny Young Bosch not going to be in it. That I'm sure he said. And I'm 99% sure he also said Yoshi Sudarso, but double check me on that one.
I'd 100% believe that.
Yeah, but they announced a new person. I mean, they announced Jenna Frank, which is like obviously, you know, her dad's in it. She's going to be in it, whatever. And she's a plot point, you know, as his daughter in the thing. But they announced some woman who's going to be in it, and I had no idea who she was. She's not from the Power Rangers franchise, I don't think, unless was she in the movie?
Oh, I don't remember. Not that I'm aware of. But I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
I also was unfamiliar with her.
So, I mean, and nothing against her, but kind of like the whole point was it's all these Power Rangers alumni. So it's sort of like we're waiting to see who else is going to be. And it's like, oh, she's in it. Okay, fine. I guess. But I don't know.
She might be in Bat in the Sun. Other stuff? Who knows?
That seems likely. But yeah. And again, nothing against her, but I just wasn't excited because I don't know who she is. But
yeah.
The goals are getting closer is your point, and that's exciting. We have to end. We're not going to talk about it, but I will acknowledge that Power Morphicon, which is what I'm wearing, has been canceled for this year, postponed to summer of next year. The dates are already up. You can go find it. Hopefully everything will be
June.
fine by then, and we could all go there and meet up somehow. But until that time, I have been Gazbot,
I've rambled and rambled and rambled as a big dog defender.
and to the power or power down, because it's kind of a news show. To the power down.
To the power down.
Okay. Oh, and I got to do end credits as usual. There they am. What are you pointing at?
Here they come. There they go.
Evil runs. Oh, it's weird when I do it because it's actually my voice.
I know. That's
Yeah.
why it's like you can't parody yourself.
I forgot because I recorded that song like 2 or 3 years ago, so it's like it's not fresh in my head.
Action.
Fresh in my head.